Logan Lepiscopo here with Tim Quinn, talking about the Erie Otters schedule release. First of all, I want to say congratulations to you on the full-time position now.
Thank you very much, sir.
You were the man between the glass last season. Now you're going to be up in the booth filling in color commentary. You've also been doing social media stuff, which, by the way, I will speak for behalf of the Erie community. I've loved the stuff you've been putting out on socials, man.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
So kind of talk to me about this new role, what you're focusing on right now. You mentioned you just got back on a trip from Canada.
That's right. Yeah, so we had the OHL league meetings, the off-season meetings, kind of what, baseball's got the winter meetings. Everybody kind of gets the league together, talk about the successes from the last season. And for the OHL, there were many. A lot to talk about. It was a couple of days long. The league is just getting bigger. It's just getting better. It's just getting more competitive. And to see the Erie Otters kind of represented in a very good light there was really, really cool. And then being able to see what everyone else is doing right and being able to adjust that to make sure that not only the hockey and the game on the ice is really, really good, but that our fans, every time they come in the building, have an incredible experience and the best experience possible. So it was super, super cool.
So I'm going to assume you were the one behind the schedule release video that you guys put out, the nice little overhead radar thing that you came up with. So let's start off with the home opener. When is it? Who's it against? And are fans able to go and get tickets right now?
Oh yeah, absolutely. We got tickets on sale and all over our social media. Myself worked on a lot of the home opener stuff, and then our media team, along with my good friend Pete, worked on the schedule release, and it turned out absolutely gorgeous. I love those videos. And then the home opener coming up September 20th. Be here at home, Erie Insurance Arena, a little bit earlier than any other year before with the OHL, so it's super exciting to get in maybe a week or two earlier than people have been in there before. And it's against a good rival in the Kitchener Rangers, and that's always a good game between the two. I know we played them in the playoffs a couple of years ago before I started, and so I'm really excited to kind of reignite that and really kickstart the season. The home opener has always been a lot of fun. So
I was looking at the schedule. It seems like there's a lot of road trips, home trips. I don't know if that was the same last season. Maybe I didn't notice it that much, but there's like 4 or 5 game stretches. The guys are on the road, a couple 4 or 5 game stretches. They're here at home. Is that something new, or maybe is that just kind of, how the schedule ended up falling? Yeah,
well, that is, I think, a question maybe just like a little bit above the pay grade for the social media guy. But I think the OHL tries to find a different situation every year. If there's problems throughout the season, I think they address that in the off season and try to put together something that works for everybody. So that way a team like the Otters, right, where we're more of a southern-based team in the OHL, when we have to go up to Sault Ste. Marie, when we have to go up to Sudbury, we kind of make that all-in-one trip so that way we're not playing 10 hours away and then have to drive back the next day and then 8-hour trips. So I think they kind of take locations into consideration, and I really like the layout of the schedule this year. It feels very almost weekend focused to try to make sure that the most amount of people can get into the building, because we know that it's a hot ticket, right? Whenever the team's in town, you want to be able to be there, and especially in those midweek games, it's sometimes tough to make that happen, just because everybody's going about their lives in different ways, right? So I think it's going to be a nice solution having it on the weekends.
So with the schedule, is there any game maybe in particular you're looking at or that you think fans should be looking forward to? I know the London Knights is usually a popular game people want to come to and boo, say London sucks. Is there anything that you're looking forward to the 2025-26 season?
Absolutely. One of the things we talked about in the league meetings was Rivalry Week. It's a brand new feature, brand new little storyline going on in the OHL this season, and we get to play our geographic rivals, the Niagara Ice Dogs. And for me, it's super cool because as an intern this last season, it was the one road trip that I made with the team to help broadcast was in Niagara. And so it's kind of cool that I get to relive that in maybe a little bit of a bigger way, and certainly trying to make that a huge weekend. We start on the road on the Friday, back home on the Saturday against the Ice Dogs. And it's kind of an experimental thing for the OHL, and I'm really hoping that ourselves and the Erie community kind of come out and knock it out of the park.
So with your new role, all that you've been taking on, is there anything specifically fans should be looking out for the team next year? Obviously, Chris Millette will now get a full season with the squad. Is there any guys you've been talking to, any chirps you've been hearing that fans should look forward to for this season coming up?
Well, I kind of, at moments like this, feel like I work for Marvel because, I want to try to keep the lips sealed, as the new guy. I don't want to get let go. But there is certainly a lot to look forward to. I have been so excited. You know, I've just started really a month and a half ago, almost 2 months now at this point, but we've got a lot of cool things cooking up to make this season better than ever. We want to make sure that we control the controllables in our office. So our staff, you know, we can't really control whether or not the Otters are going to win the game on the ice, but we want to make sure you enjoy the game, and we want to make sure that when you're in there, you have the best experience, the best combination of sports and entertainment. You're entertained throughout the game, and then when you're leaving the arena, the only question you're going to be asking is, when's the next game? When can we go back? So we got a lot cooking up.
Now, to wrap this segment up, obviously the schedule is big, but even bigger coming up, the NHL draft. Matthew Schaefer is at the top of the list for a lot of people, expected to go #1. And you're going to be able to make the trip out there for the draft. First of all, how cool is that? And second of all, Matthew Schaefer and Erie Otter potentially going #1. How cool is that?
It's so special, and it's so cool. You know, before I even started working with the Otters, you knew the name Matthew Schaefer, a household name not only in Erie, but now becoming nationwide and in the U.S. and Canada, becoming just that household name. And everybody's starting to see that this guy is as a generational player on the ice and just an incredible human off of the ice. He has surprised me at 17 years old to be one of the most professional, one of the most kind people who goes out of their way, makes sure he has time for everybody. And you know, he's somebody who's been through so much over this last year. And so to see him fight through that and continue to just be an incredible human is awesome. And it's so deserved that he's getting the love that he's getting now. And I'm so excited to be out there in LA and just kind of hopefully be his shadow to make sure that everybody can see the incredible story of Matthew Schaefer.
All right, Tim. I appreciate you coming on, man.
You're the best.
A lot to look forward to come the season. We thank you all for joining us on the Sports Blitz. We will be right back talking about Cooper Cousins and his return to Erie.